I'm really pleased with him. Since he's come in, he looked great when he came home. He'd had a lovely summer at grass, and he looked fab when he come back. And since then, he's never really given us a moment's worry. We obviously had a touch of an injury that we needed to monitor, but he's done everything that we wanted him to do, and he's just come along exactly how we wanted him to come along. So I'm really happy with him. He come back from Ascot, and whether he had a hard race or what, I don't know, but he just didn't look how I wanted him to look. So we backed off him and said we'd probably end up giving Cheltenham a miss and head to Aintree, and we gave him a little bit of time off and got him going again. And then I just wasn't happy with one of his legs one day, and there was a little injury there, so we just had to stop. He came in July, end of July, and it's never given us a moment's worry. He hasn't been off quite as long as people anticipate. He just hasn't ran since February, and the ground this year, with it being a long dry summer, it wouldn't have. There wasn't really anywhere to run him by the Betfair Chase, and it was just going to come probably a week too soon, and then there wasn't really a prep race for him, so he went and popped around some fences at Hexham. It was just to get him away from home. If he wanted to be keen or do anything daft, he never has, but it just gave him that day. He did probably just short of a mile, and he went down a bit buzzy and gave the first a little bit of air if you want to crib him, and then just popped the next three in, quite settled in behind his lead horse, and he did everything right. It was tacky old ground, so they didn't need to go mad fast, but it gave him a nice stretch of his legs, and he's come back and everything's been fine since.
And what makes him such a great chaser? He's only had a few runs, but he's shown every time he's run over fences that he's got so much ability. He seems to run through races very easily.
Yeah, he's a good traveller, and he seems, touch wood, a good jumper. He's not flash, he's not economical, he just goes about his job in the right way and does everything that you ask. And every time we stepped up, he's answered every question. And I mean, this will be his toughest ask to date, but you can't sort of avoid these sort of horses now. You just have to go there and see if, whether you're the best one on the day or not.
He's shown that he's a very classy individual over just short of 3 miles, but there are some people still questioning him whether he'll be better at shorter 3 miles. Is that a worry to you?
It's not a worry to me, because you think he'll stay, but until he proves he does, I suppose you don't know, do you? But a lot of good horses, if you look, will sort of be effective over every trip, won't they? So he's got speed, he's got stamina. Probably his biggest asset really is his ability just to switch off in a race and not do too much too early, which will help him see out the trip. What impressed us at Ascot wasn't just that, he switched off and there went a hell of a gallop round Ascot with Q Card. But that when Brian said, "Will you go?" off he went. And he's got to do that over 3 miles, but he's obviously got a nice cruising speed and a nice turn of foot, and if he stays as well, then he's got all the attributes of a very good horse. I think, given the rain about, I think as long as it's good to soft, and it's not on the quick side, I think we'll be happy to take our chance.
And the track itself, Kempton's a level flat track. He has won there before, and you tended to kind of gone away from the undulating tracks. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, we just when you ride him, you can just lean a little bit on the forehand, and some of his downhill jumps, even Sedgefield and Carlisle, haven't been some of his best jumps. We'll never fully rule him out of Cheltenham, because you never know, but I'm not going to say we're definitely going to Cheltenham, like people want you to. But he's quite, apart from that, that's only his little sort of negative, is that maybe just because he runs downhill, runs on the forehand. If he ran downhill on the forehand, would he be more prone to making an error?
It's going to be a top class race, probably the best renewal of the 32 Red King George for many a year. Who do you see as your main dangers?
To be honest, I think they're all main dangers, aren't they? Because every single one of them's a good horse in their own right, and the track will play to different strengths for different horses. But I wouldn't rule any of them out. I just think it's a very good race.